I bet you. Yep. Do I have 3 in my arsenal? No, I'm full. So I'm gonna do. Not there. I'm gonna come this way and shoot them with my. There's one. Shoot the far one first. And okay. All clear. Should have shot with an M4, honestly. Alright. Alright. Up we go. Up, 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 up.
Emma, Snake and Hal are waiting for us in Shell 1's computer room. I've got this disk that the President gave me. This disk is supposed to contain a virus that can corrupt Arsenal Gear's operating system. We need you to...
This is my program.
What?
Why did the President give it to you?
Huh?
Did something happen to the President?
I like how he's already talked to 3 people about this where it's been he starts off traumatized.
President. He's dead.
What?
You actually wrote this virus?
It's not really a virus. It's more like a worm cluster. It's actually a delayed effect autonomous program that's designed to invade GW's cerebrum and render its nerve connections useless.
You know what GW is?
Of course. I created it.
Huh?
You look surprised.
Well...
Cat got your tongue?
I'm sorry, How about the Patriots? Ever heard of them?
Yes, but I only know what I've been told.
Can you tell me what you know?
Sure, but it's hard to put into words.
Right.
So the codec is like a neural link in this one, at least.
Are you reading me, Emma?
Yes, loud and clear.
The President said that Arsenal Gear was the Patriots' key to supremacy.
That's as good a description as any.
Real. What exactly is it?
It's a massive data processing system capable of controlling information on a global scale.
A data processing system?
That's right. The system's a social device for maintaining the Patriots' control.
You've lost me.
Well, in this day and age, information emerges from every direction and is freely distributed. A variety of information gathered by servers employing the latest in high-speed communication networks and P2P technology is rapidly circulated to individuals. In fact, the speed of this circulation process is accelerating on an almost daily basis. The Patriots seem to be afraid of this development. Apparently, they believe that their role will shift from dominant to dominated. Let me give you an example. You're aware of Solid Snake's anti-Metal Gear activities, aren't you?
Yeah, I know a little about it.
Well, that's just a small sample of uncontrolled information. I can guarantee you the Patriots did not want Solid Snake's name publicized. Now, look at it like this. Political scandal, corporate corruption, up until now, the Patriots have managed to keep a lid on these and other self-serving events. But with their existing data processing system, they're no longer able to effectively control the flow of information generated at the individual level. With the newly created system, they can fully regulate digital information. High-level information can be categorized in stages, given clearance levels, and deleted as necessary, never to be seen by the public. By deleting such information, the Patriots can shape the course of history as they see fit.
Somebody's bound to catch on.
No, the memory capacity, not to mention the lifespan of the average individual, is extremely limited. On the other hand, digital information lasts virtually forever. It doesn't deteriorate.
So?
The alphabet, 26 letters, right? It could have been 30 letters. What if the 4 deleted letters were controlled by a program?
Impossible.
It's not. In fact, something similar is already underway. Do you know how many genes exist in an individual?
About 30 to 40,000?
Right, that's what was announced at the turn of the century.
heck are you
But there's
talking
actually
about?
100,000 according to the original theory advanced by the scientific community. Information regarding the remaining 60,000 was suppressed
What
by
the
the
heck are you
Patriots.
talking about?
Why? How would you know?
make no
Do you know what a
sense.
gene looks like? Did you count them yourself?
There are research organizations.
Of course. And their reports have already been subtly altered. They're even beginning to believe the doctored reports. GW is a system that allows the Patriots to decide what will be recorded in tomorrow's history.
So what we're talking about is one huge censorship system for deleting information which might be inconvenient to the Patriots.
Exactly. The actual physical core for handling the task, GW, is installed in Arsenal. It's the only system in the world with an optic neural AI that has a parallel processing capacity of 980 trillion Hammets.
I suppose that being a specialist in neural AI and complex logic played a significant role in your association with the Metal Gear project.
That's not the only reason.
What do you mean? I guess there are plenty of other reasons.
Yes, there
not. I understand.
are. Do you?
Definitely so Arsenal Gear was actually designed to protect the GW system, wasn't it?
Yes. It's armed with
Definitely not.
everything, including
Just give me
nuclear
whatever.
weapons, and is fully
Definitely
equipped with
not.
cyber-terrorist countermeasures. Physically and logically, it's the
Definitely
ultimate
not.
fortress for housing GW.
But is
That's
the AI
wrong.
actually capable of controlling everything?
No, GW is only the system's core.
No.
It's only for deciding what data is
No.
stored or deleted. The actual subsystem for executing the task exists within our social structure.
What?
Do you remember the panic that gripped the computer industry prior to the end of the century?
You mean the Y2K problem?
That's right. If you recall, our government supplied the world with a countermeasure program. Using the internet at full capacity, the program was distributed to every governmental organization, every key facility throughout the world. In addition, the same program was included in an OS application for distribution among the public.
Let me guess. The Y2K countermeasure contained a program designed by the Patriots.
Yes, and everything supplied from that day onward contains the same program.
Impossible.
Do you know how a computer operates? Do you really know the basic principles on how data is exchanged? Nobody's aware of it, but there's a subsystem in place, and it's about to be activated.
Is that why Solidus wants to burn out every electrical circuit in Manhattan with a nuclear blast?
Probably, but the overall system isn't actually complete.
What?
It still lacks the necessary factors for judging situations. I heard they were planning a major experiment in the next few days to provide complex data for GW to study. And suddenly all this happens.
Emma, it's not your fault. If it wasn't for the terrorists.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I think that's about all I know.
Right. Thanks. I think we'd better head for the computer room.
My bird in the computer room. Is he safe?
That noisy overgrown parakeet?
Excuse me, he's a parrot. And he's my best friend. My only friend.
I might have
Well,
sprayed it
the
with
bird's
some
okay.
coolant.
Good. Did you know that in the old days, miners used to take a canary into the mine shafts to detect toxic gas?
That's what he's for?
No,
It's a parrot.
I really needed someone to talk to.
Right. I think we'd better get moving. We've got a little longer to cover than the last time.
I'll give it my best.
Whatever you do, don't open your eyes.
Why not?
A dead body, not a pretty sight. Once we get past it, it'll be too dark to see anything.
I thought I blew up that one. Did they reinstall it? Motherfucker.
What are those sticks in your head?
These? They're lacquered chopsticks. They hold your hair in place. Did you know that they're pretty popular in Europe and South America?
Can't say that I do. You're not only cute, but smart too.
Oh, I'm much more than cute.
Okay, let's go.
So, pause that for a minute. So, what they just talked about there, I will say this, even though I was goofing off and I was trying to get him to scream whatever, what they just talked about there, that's a huge part of the puzzle for what makes this game, like the value of this game, because I know I'm riding it hard on the dialogue is all over the place. shoddily written, all that stuff. That is like those are factors, but the plot is what is the redeeming quality of this, because talking about a AI algorithm that can process information in real time and selectively censor what is put out there and shape narratives through the internet. That's happening. That is absolutely happening. And it's not even necessarily like some Illuminati style committee. It's nation states and it's non-government actors. That's what you got. You got non-state actors and you have state actors both doing this. You're going to see the state actors doing this in authoritarian countries such as China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, places like that where they strictly control their internet. And then you've also got non-state actors like Elon Musk. Everyone thinks he's the bee's knees, but more and more information is coming out about how he acquired Twitter, what he's been doing with it, the things he's been writing in the algorithm where he's shaping narratives and attempting to influence elections and such with that platform. And then obviously we have the Cambridge Analytica scandal that happened with 2016's election. So these are all things that are happening. Like I will talk shit where shit's merited, but I will give credit where credit is due. And there is credit due for this plot. Like Hideo Kojima read the tea leaves and he knew what was coming. And I don't think he per se saw social media coming, but he definitely knew that people connected through the internet. I mean, back in these days, we're talking 2002, we're talking emails primarily. This is a little bit before the advent of instant messaging. A little bit, not by many years, but I'm sure instant messengers existed back then, but they weren't as widespread and prevalent as they were just a couple of years later. But primarily emails, message boards, stuff like that. And even with that, he saw, oh wow, there could be potential for somebody to shape narratives and shape societies through controlling what information is out there, because this is the information age. Like, you have essentially all the world's knowledge at your fingertips, but if you have non-state actors such as Elon Musk, such as Mark Zuckerberg, if you have tech companies like Google, if you have state actors that are controlling the internet actively, you have all of these factors that are coming into play. And it's not even like so much nefarious as in like, oh, you searched for Tiananmen Square in China, we'll execute you out the gate. Like, yeah, I'm sure that's an example. Like, if you dig too deep into what happened in Tiananmen Square and you live in China, you're probably going to be shipped off to a re-education camp. But there's things coming out in China where they're trying to put out like state versions of social media apps, and if you have bad social credit, then it locks you out of society. And so instead of taking the hard approach of the re-education camps, the beatings, the killings, all that stuff, you take the approach of ostracization. That's such a hard word for me to say, which is embarrassing because I'm a writer, but ostracization. You ostracize those that don't comply with societal norms, and that's how you gain compliance from the people. So, and then it allows you to monitor them, because everyone gets wise and tries to organize some kind of movement against the government. You'll see it coming a mile away. You know how to crack down on it. You know which key players to take out of circulation before the movement can gain any steam. So, as far as controlling a populace, China really has it down pat. Russia knows how to control their populace, but it also helps that their populace, by far and large, seems to support what they do. So if you've already got people buying into your bullshit, then there's really not a lot of work to be had. I mean, obviously, you got people that are power hungry that want to do their own version of chauvinism. And would rather be the oligarchs than have Putin and his current people be oligarchs. But as far as do they support all the excursions into Africa where they're murdering people, the activities of Wagner Group throughout the African continent, the invasion of Ukraine, all the cyber war and active measures they've initiated against the West, these tend to be overwhelmingly popular in Russia. And it's not a matter of should we do these things, it's who should be calling the shots. So they have a different thing. I think China is more worrisome because they're gaming it to where you're eliminating the factors that would be needed for a revolution there. And it's insidious control that way. So Kojima really saw that coming. And that's where I feel this story is really revolutionary. This is why I put Metal Gear Solid 2 above Metal Gear Solid 3, because Metal Gear Solid 3 is just a generic, oh, the Cold War was silly and people have more commonalities and differences. Like that generic message. There are some emotional notes here and there, but it also suffers from dialogue problems like this game does. So that's why I feel like this game has the edge, because it brought something to the table that we haven't seen before. And it was, like I said, to this day, it is very prophetic and very relevant. And that's where I feel like I place this game above Metal Gear Solid 3. I think Metal Gear Solid 4, I place 4 above 3 as well. I place 4 above 2 because I feel like the execution is a little better. The dialogue gets a little better. Not much. Like I feel like it peaked with Jeremy Blossing's localization, but the dialogue is a lot better in 4 than it is in 2 and 3. And then there's also things there. If they ever release a Master Collection Volume 2 with Metal Gear Solid 4 in it, and we get to do that on the channel, then I'll absolutely delve into that, because there are parallels that we are seeing between what Metal Gear Solid 4 predicted and what we've seen in the war in Ukraine as far as technological advances. A lot of those things Hideo Kojima called in the spread of PMCs and their ability to be wielded both as a asset of a nation state and independently. So 2 and 4 really called some things. Like Kojima read the tea leaves and he was like, I could see this happening, and he wasn't far off at all. Very, very relevant to today's landscape. But I wanted to touch on that because, like I said, I'm trying to be fair. I love the series overall, but I think that that's driven by my love of Metal Gear Solid 1, which is my favorite game of all time. But the successes should be applauded too. Like I said, like I don't like the dialogue. I don't like some of the characterization of this game. In subsequent games, you see the same problem. But and like I said, I attribute that to Kojima's hubris of, I've written this perfect thing, don't dare criticize my writing, don't you dare change my writing for any reason whatsoever. But he got the plot down pat. So now with that, without further ado, let us jump into the rest of this.